Good morning. Let's open today by doing the Board of Finance meeting. We have Mr. Grolick here, who's the county treasurer. I believe, Mr. Schnare, you're going to start us off.
Yes, so similar to our other meetings, we're going to do an organization of the Board of Finance. We have a good slate of officers, if that's how the board would prefer to go. But at this time, I take nominations for the Board of Finance slate of officers.
I'll make a motion that we keep the Board of Officers the same as the previous year with Chad Blessinger as president and Mr. Grolick as secretary.
I'll second. Okay. No other nominations, and having a first and a second on that slate. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, same sign. We are reorganized.
Thank you. Okay, so Mr. Grolick, we'll let you take it over.
Yes. So I think Sandy has the minutes from last year's meeting, or sorry, you do, Chet. Those are, I feel like, a standard minutes. It's a pretty simple meeting, and so we're okay with that.
So I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes from last January as they've been presented.
I'll second.
Any other discussion?
No.
All in favor of approval of the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Okay. So one of the things that we are required to do is provide the minutes. And also, I do have that in my office of advertising for this meeting, so that anybody who's interested to be here, granted we have Zoom, so that's always great too. So we've done that. So going over the documents that I had provided you. So the first one is the year-end interest for our CDs that you guys have there. So we collected $254,000, so just rounding down, in interest for our CDs. You have there the highway solar sources as part of that, which is all highway, Cume Bridge. So that's all. Rates we know are going down. I mean, if you're following the market, which I am every day, we peaked maybe in March. It seems like we may have peaked, and we've kind of slowly trickled down since then. And so for the most part, we're getting pretty good rates though with our local banks. Everything we do is local. I've always felt like that was what I want to do. I represent our community, and I want them to have first shot. So it's always been a pretty good situation. One of the things is Trust Indiana, which is another source to make sure that we can invest our money. And they send out weekly rates, and our rates have always been that I've received from local banks have either been near that or higher. So I feel like we haven't lost anything by sticking with our local banks. I think that's really important. So our local banks are reinvesting the money that's here locally. And that's great.
So can you tell me on the interest earnings, the one with color versus the year-end interest for certificates of deposit? On the one in color, it says that the total cumulative year investment income is 2.3 million, and the CD is only 250,000. So is the remainder of it from checking interest?
It is. So we have three accounts that earn interest at GAB. We have our general fund. We have an excise, so all excise money that comes in, it gets deposited to us. We don't distribute right away. There's only certain times that excise gets distributed. Sandy can help me along with that as well. And then also payroll. Ultimately, payroll is we move it from our general to our payroll. But they allow us to pay to earn interest on that. So there is and I've tried to break it out in there to show that. Ideally, the general and payroll are really the same thing, but money comes out of payroll, so that's why we move it over. It's still really the same account.
I just wanted to bring that up because it's for the taxpayers, if anybody pays attention, $2.3 million of money that the county uses doesn't have to be raised in the form of taxes because we earn interest on it,
That's correct. So we,
which has been down as far as maybe 200 and some $1,000 in when the
Right.
market was really low. So for it to be 10 times higher is good.
yes. So in summary there, with what Chad's saying, at the bottom, so at the end of 22, we earned for the year 521,000. And then in 23, we earned $2.3 million. And then in 24 was 2.7, which is obviously the height of the rates. And then at the end of 25, we earned 2.3. It's very similar to what was done in 23. So, but I feel like at the end of 26, a year from now, when we fast forward, we'll say it's going to be less. I don't have an answer. I'll say it's going to be less, and that's going to be a fair assessment. All right, but I know a majority of our money we keep at Springs Valley, and that is a weekly interest rate. So we actually, and I'll go to the next page. Actually, we'll come back to that. So year-end interest is what we talked about. And then the next page that I have is 2-year-old checks that we're going to put back into our general fund. So these are people who have not cashed their checks. We try to reach out to the people. We sent letters, and nobody has come back. So we have $537.27 that we're going to put back to our general fund, and we'll put stop payment on those checks. All right. Investment holdings. So earlier we talked about the interest from those accounts. Here is the principal portion of that. So $6.4 million roughly is where our CDs that we have is $6.4 million in CDs. So getting back to earlier, I brought up about Spring Valley Bank, SVB&T. So we have about $41.5 million with them. It's a variable rate. It's always been a pretty good situation where rates fluctuate, comes back and forth, we get weekly interest. And we can't, I don't know, we get any better than where we're at. So things are pretty good.
So every once a week, that interest is rolled into the principal, and then we earn on that as well.
Correct. Goes back into the fund. Like right now, there's money for the jail, and then a couple health accounts in our general fund, along with the recorder. So they get monthly, or I'm sorry, they get weekly interest. And then we put that into their fund. Pretty good situation.
Mhm.
And our last page, prior to the interest earnings, is something that I just added that I thought was valuable. In summary, so we're showing $69.2 million in 2025 is what we collected in property tax revenue. And then on the right side, I'll break it down, what percentage of our income of that $69 million went towards airports, schools, the county, townships, and fire district, TIFs. I feel like I saw that in the magazine, and I thought, man, that is good to know. I think maybe the public wants to know. And so that's the reason why I brought that out there. So anybody who has a question about that, they can come and we can show them this is where it's at. So in summary, 53%, just a little over 53% of our $69 million went towards schools. All four schools that we have here. The county collected 14.7% of that money, which is about $10 million. The airport, cities and towns, fire districts. So it's been I think it's just a lot of good information that people don't know that maybe they would be, okay. Now they know where our money is being spent. I thought it was interesting, and I felt like others may think the same way.
And so the fire district getting 0.21%, that would be the Northeast Du Bois Fire District, and the other district, or the other fire departments or their townships. Is that correct?
Fire district.
Right, this one is for the district, but the other ones are funded through townships.
Right, that's correct. It is. So in summary, that's what I have as a presentation.
So we have the statement of investment policy. It appears to be similar to years in the past. I will move that we approve the investment policy as it's been presented.
Second.
Is there any other discussion on that?
No, sir.
Mr. Hawk, anything to add to that?
No, I think, other than next year, I think we expect our earnings to be less than what it was in 25. And that's unfortunate, but that's the way it is.
All in favor of approving the investment policy, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carried.
Thank
That's
you.
the thing with the interest. There's not a lot of control over it. You're limited in what you can invest in, and you're whatever the market bears, that's what you get.
Correct.
So I think you're doing a fine job, and I appreciate it.
I think the only thing that I try to make sure to do is that every CD matures on a weekday, not a holiday or a Saturday, Sunday, which I think has happened in the past. That sometimes, so we've lost possibly some daily interest, which, but I have a calendar I look up. If we're doing a 180-day CD, we fast forward to make sure that maybe it has to be 181, so it catches a Monday, so that we don't lose a day of interest.
Is there any other business for the board? We will close the
Yes.
Board of Finance for 2026. Thank you.
Make it a great day. Yes, thank you.
Okay, we will call to order the meeting of the DuBois County Board of Commissioners for January 20th, 2026. We have a quorum present with all three commissioners in attendance. Let's begin the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have both the monthly report of the county clerk and the monthly report of the county treasurer. Does anyone have any comments or anything we want to say about those?
No, sir. No.
So, for the record, we have reviewed those. We have the payroll. Any changes there?
Sir. No.
I'll move that we approve.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. And we have the meeting minutes from January 5th, 2026. Any additions, subtractions, modifications?
Good.
No.
No? I'll move that we approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? No. Motion carries. And finally, we have the claims against the county and the voucher register. Anybody have any changes there?
No changes.
No changes.
I'll move that we approve.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. It is 8:15. We have the DuBois County DAR America 250. Christine? Good morning.
Good morning. I'm actually Barbara Keeley, this region. Christine was called out on a family emergency.
Okay. Thank you, Bob.
I hope I came prepared enough. The DuBois County DAR is seeking approval from the board to place a community patriot marker for the America 250 at the courthouse. We are not currently seeking funds for this. I have included the information in the packets of the marker, what it entails. It is, again, a community marker, and the goal is to have one in every state to honor our patriots on the 250th anniversary of our country. Currently, Indiana has 5 sites approved and 3 in approval. This is step 1, and if and when we receive your approval, we will then submit it to our national board for approval by our historian, and it's about a 6-month process guesstimate. I've also included 3 photos of the marker. That would be a freestanding marker with possible locations on the west side of the courthouse. And there are 2 or 3 if a proposed marker is on the courthouse. You're thinking. The freestanding marker is a 30-inch by 30-inch bronze marker, and the one that would be mounted would be 24 by 24. This is a marker similar to the Madonnas on the Trail across the country as a monument on the National Trail. It's a project that the Daughters of the American Revolution proposed and did to honor the plight of the women of the frontier. So, do you have any questions?
It's the first I've read about it, so I just wanted to.
I was gonna say, I'm happy to leave this with you, let you all mull over it and come back and schedule for another date for your findings.
So this is a permanent.
Yes, it is a permanent marker. There is a picture of it that is on page 1 of what it would look like. There is a marker of the Patriots that are located in the county on the east side of the courthouse. So it would be in tandem with that.
What did you say was a?
There is a marker by the DAR of the Patriots that are buried in Du Bois County.
Mhm. So it says that this article is dated 2020. Is that accurate?
Yes, that is when the initiative began,
Okay.
and it slowly trickled out to the populace at that time. Nothing has changed from the original article on 2020. Outside of it gaining more
That's the exact marker.
momentum. Yes, that is the exact marker. And in the 5 communities that it's approved in, it has been Vincennes, Montgomery, Pendleton, Madison, and Bloomington, with pending approvals in Jeffersonville, Versailles, and Richmond. And again, we would raise the money for the project.
I guess my first thought is I don't want to put any more stuff on the courthouse property. That's my first thought.
I don't think it would look bad on the wall mounted one.
So currently we have 2 mounted on that wall. One on the, I guess, the south side of the door, the north side of the door as you enter the courthouse. Do we want to make a decision today, or do we want to take
I was
under
gonna say-
advisement and see what the public thinks?
I don't mind waiting to see what the public
If
thinks.
I
anybody
was
has.
gonna say, we would also not be opposed to, if possible, doing something on the side of the annex.
Okay.
So it not to cumbersome the county courthouse.
Okay. Yeah, I guess, like I said, I haven't had time to
Yeah.
think it through a whole lot
I was
myself.
gonna say, it's a lot to throw at you to,
Yeah, I'm definitely okay with keeping it open for consideration to hear what the viewpoints of the community are. Commissioner Stefano?
I agree. I'm kind of leaning towards on the courthouse wall more than the freestanding out here by itself.
I was told it did get a little bit of a stir doing the pictures because an officer did come out to see what the
See
protest
what
was
going
about.
on.
Oh, yes.
I bet so. I bet so.
You're protesting nothing. A blank
Oh, the
sign.
fake sign, right? Let's
They're like, we're not protesting.
see if we can get a little feedback from the community and stuff on it, so.
I like that.
But yeah, I'm sure they did.
So just for the record, it does say, here's what the text of the monument would say: Revolutionary War Patriots. This marker commemorates the men and women who achieved American independence. These patriots, believing in the noble cause of liberty, fought valiantly to found a new nation, 1775 to 1783, presented by, and then the words underneath that are too small for me to read. But
The
it says presented by New York, something, but
New York organization, Daughters of the American Revolution, America 250,
Mhm.
with the America 250 emblem.
Okay. I don't have any other questions.
Brother, do I thank you
Thank you.
Thank you.
very much.
You're so good. Ms. Lee, you want to come up and give the report, please?
Sure.
Good morning.
Morning.
Okay, Donnie Lincoln, DuBois County Highway Department. First of all, weed board. The weed to send noxious weed alert flyers to around 19,000 taxpayers through the tax assessment mailings at a cost of approximately $2,700. SWCD and ISAC will voluntarily each contribute $500. The weed board only has $1,500. So we are asking if we are able to get help with the other approximate $200.
Do you feel that it's a good investment? We've done this in the past. Do you think people look at it and take action, or is it?
I do. I mean, whenever I got it, we used to send it through the treasurers, through the other tax, whatever. And I seen it. I can't say everybody's gonna look at it, but I mean, it's right there, and yes, I read it. I don't know. I mean, we need to do something because people just don't know. Maybe some of them don't care. Maybe some of them think that my neighbor has it up there. We do put it in the REC. And also in PSC, I believe they put it in there.
Yes, you got
So, and this is what it is. It's two-sided. So, and it has a little scan there showing that if you don't, different other, as far as how to do it, and if you don't do it, what's gonna happen, it's gonna get charged for your taxes, if we go out and spray. So,
And so this will be different. This will go out with your assessment form, not your tax bill.
yes,
So this would be the first time I believe we'd ever done that.
I believe so.
Last year, there was a request for the weed board to do something similar to the tax bill, and it was denied because there were multiple people wanting things in with the tax bill, if I'm remembering.
Yep.
So this is a creative way of getting it to those same people.
Yeah, yep.
So So you're really only asking us for $200 if we want to help contribute an additional amount. Commissioner Stefani, what are your thoughts?
I agree. I think 200 is, it's fine.
We didn't, I know they didn't spend any last year,
Okay.
because they didn't, we couldn't send it out, so we didn't spend any there.
And hopefully that people will, look at it, take it seriously.
Right. I mean, we even heard people in the state ain't even taking care of it. You go down the road, you see all kinds of right along the state, you know, why should I mess with it?
If we,
We can reach a few.
it's like a lot of laws, if we don't have enforcement, we don't have a weed cop.
Good effort. I think 200 is pretty minimal on our part.
Commissioner Hofstadter, any thoughts on it?
Yeah, I think it's a good idea.
Okay, the $200 could come from miscellaneous operating fund, if that's available from the commissioners. We have $10,000 in that. You okay with using it from there?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I'll make a motion. Sandy, if you want to listen, just in case would it be any reason there'd be a problem that the miscellaneous operating fund could contribute $200 to this? Okay, so I'll make a motion that the commissioners approve $200 from the miscellaneous operating fund to help the weed board.
I'll second.
All in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Okay, I have the 2025 hourly FEMA rates. That is the list for 2026, which is reflective of current FEMA rates. These prices do not include the cost of an operator, and in all cases, they do not include materials. With your approval, I would like to recommend approval of the 2026 equipment rates. These rates have not been updated since 2019. So,
Well, I thought they went up every year.
well,
They hadn't.
apparently they do, but our rates, they was not
Okay, and when would this come into effect?
now.
No, I mean, when would we have to charge someone for our equipment?
Oh, okay. That is, if somebody hits a sign, as far as if we have to, like if somebody, like out here by Brettsville, a semi ran into a ditch and we have to go out there and ditch it with our equipment. That's stuff like that.
So if the public or a corporation damages county property, we have to go do it, they get charged a certain amount. And this
Yes,
would be what
yep.
that is.
And we go by those rates to charge.
Okay.
And it's not very regular instances, but we sometimes will help Spencer County with something, or they'll help us with something. And does this take into account any of that? Like if we need to help another county, or do we just kind of give that?
Yes, yeah,
One for
that's, yeah. It would go by that also if we do, unless if we, trade back and forth, yes.
That makes sense.
Like
So you're
as far
satisfied
as-
with these rates? These sound fair to the taxpayers?
Yes.
Anybody on the board have a question or problem with these?
No.
I move that we approve the 2026 hourly equipment rates as presented.
I'll second.
Any other discussion?
No.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Yeah, it's mostly like whenever they hit guardrail, signs mostly
Mhm.
involved, so. Okay, part-time summer help, we normally attempt to hire 2 helpers for vegetation control. These positions will be scheduled from April or after school through summer until Labor Day. I would again like to hire a 3rd to run our boom mower, which is set up for around Huntingburg, Jasper, and Ireland routes. This mower will cover only 90 miles, but will make a complete round in roughly a month. Hopefully, we'll be able to make at least 4 full rounds to keep the grass weeds looking nice for the public. With your approval, I would like to get started looking for help.
So the third one-
Basically the same thing as what we did the last couple of years.
The 3rd person would be a part-time also?
Yeah, 3rd person will be part-time also. And
The positions were approved previously,
Yes.
and the funding was approved for 2026
yes,
as well.
yeah.
Anybody have any comments on it?
No, I'm fine with it.
Sounds great.
So is there anything really to approve? Because I think the positions, we had them in the line before. We'll go ahead and do it just for the record. I'll move that we approve the part-time summer help as presented.
I'll second.
Any other discussion?
Nope.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay, I gave you a score sheet for the gravel road conversion reevaluation for the upgrading a gravel road to a chip and seal. I conducted a reevaluation of the proposal conversion projects to update their conversion scores. We had one road added to the list, so that we made some changes in the order. The updated list provided with handouts. So right now, we have 650 South we are doing this summer. And then as in 2027, it will be 900 East. In 2028, it will be Kings Ridge Road. In 29, it will be 625 West. And 2030, it will be 850 West. And then 2031, it will be a different portion of 850 West.
Again, this isn't guaranteed.
That this is not guaranteed.
You were reading what the plan is.
Yes,
Things can change significantly between now and then based on road conditions, weather.
yes.
Well, it will be rescored each year, correct?
So what do you have in that, what is the amount of money approved for this work each year?
125,000.
So anything above that, where's that coming from?
Everything above that, well, usually what they have been doing, I think I have another paper in there. I didn't come in or not, but like if one road costs like 163,000 or whatever, like this year we had money that we didn't use as much last year, so it went back to this year. Like next year, it may cost more, so we won't have as much the following year. So I believe a couple of years ago, they didn't have enough money in there, so I believe the council appropriated another 38,000, I believe it was.
So you're gonna try to find the difference in with what you have, and if you can't, then you go to the council.
Yes.
Is, pardon me, is our 8:30 guest online?
I have her online.
So let's go ahead and pause with the highway department, and we'll do this since we have someone waiting online. And then we'll come back and we can talk about the rest of the score sheet if
Can you
there's any
hear
other
us?
questions.
Yes. Okay. Okay, I have you up on the monitor. I don't know if you're logged in on the other, but they can hear you. They can hear you and they can see you. You just can't see me. Unless you're logged in on the other side. All right, they're ready.
Can you see the screen that I'm sharing?
It's very small.
And you just have to select it, right?
I shared a screen of a news article.
There we got it.
I'm seeing it.
Yep, we got it.
I don't know what.
Yes, we do.
Okay. Thank you for the opportunity to dialogue. Trying to summarize in 15 minutes is a bit daunting, but some of the things I was thinking about as I was waiting is that so much of this is complicated, overwhelming, and is obscure. And I would welcome any opportunity to offer more ongoing training and understanding how deep some of this goes. But as you can see, from October, we're in regional and often national news in terms of we're number one in the country on pollution. Pollution is toxic. When you're the worst worst in the country and your region is, it's hard to rank, but among the worst in the state, it's a mathematical certainty that that will translate into health problems, no matter what any politician, businessman, or anyone tells you. No, so it's the rock and the hard place. I think, you know, my first thing would be to be able to address any specific questions that you have. But I would start by saying that permits are a dog and pony show. They are just that. In Indiana, Biden has cultivated a culture of flawed modeling, voluntary compliance, and assistance in doing these permits. And that is kind of, it's under the table, and then it's put forward as all of this is based on wanting to improve public health, when the result is what you see on the screen. If anybody else proposed a service with these kind of results, good people would say, let's find someone else or do something different. And this will translate into higher healthcare costs. And my point has always been, from the time I started advocating in Jasper to the coal to diesel plant, that it's not just one project. It's this overarching, we really don't care how much we pollute, we just need to get the permit up over. So how does that translate to the Holland issue? AES is a polluter. They know how to disguise this. And they disguise it very well. They've been fined in 2015 when I started raising concerns about infant mortality in Washington. I was told, quiet, shut up. Because of the influence of industries like GPC and AES on the economy. So it's kind of a hostage situation. And that ultimately is why I left Indiana, both intentionally and unintentionally. It's not really safe to talk about this. But the public needs to know, because ultimately the other thing that happens is this is all blamed, but we're supposed to fix our food, we're supposed to leave. If you don't like it, you can leave. If you're not healthy, you can just sell your house and go somewhere else. So what if you can't afford your meds? So, you know, I don't think it's a bad idea to pick the permit apart, but the problem is the permit will be approved by IDEM anyway. They approve everything. They literally work with companies in tax modeling that they do. You know, it would take a while to go into the C2D thing, but they literally deliberately hid a 13 times increased cancer risk. The bottom line is risk. You know, as I see this project, the solar fields are probably a visual pain in the butt. They're important in terms of long-term climate management, but it's not how it should be done. Most areas do rooftop solar and are able to decrease the influence of utilities and the chokehold they have on governments and economies. You're seeing that across the country now with fossil fuels. But it's a wake-up call. You know, the rest of the country is probably going to be more aghast at the potential health effects because they have been drowned over the years with, we've already proved this isn't a problem. But AES is not somebody to be trusted despite the answers they give. They literally, when Davis County had the highest infant mortality in the state, and that's saying something because Indiana ranks that highly on infant mortality also. We're fined by the EPA for not operating pollution equipment. So I think that there's a lot of things that need to happen here. First of all, it's just a paradigm on there is a cost to pollution. If it sounds too good, it probably is. And these companies, as I watch the effect and the cancers and how this math is spun, and it's similar to having those Nigerian guys call you and tell you you're gonna win a lottery. And basically, you know, it all sounds good. But most communities and city governments are either pre-infiltrated and dominated by these people, or it will make your head spin to try to figure it out, because I always get told you lost me when I try to explain it. So there's plenty of documentation on this. You know, it's the same show, you know, that I saw in Jasper on that Biomax plant. Many of those people are now involved in trying to push these narratives on the Mid-States corridor. It's a question of filtering out truth and really working the numbers and the ethics and whether it's for the public good or not. You know, economic activity is not minor, but it needs to be honest and accountable. And I put my neck on the line on that, and that's why I so appreciate this opportunity to say this publicly. Because doctors are in a hell of a situation trying to put Humpty Dumpty back together again, especially if they don't realize or acknowledge just how much acute and chronic injury is produced by a headline like what you see there. So, and if you really do look at it, the modeling in particular and the promises that these companies make are almost laughable when you look at the risk. And again, it's not about putting solar in Holland. It's the battery plants and the risk of explosion by a company that 10 years ago didn't care if they dumped all the coal there. And the coal ash pump, that's a whole other issue too. I mean, the layers here, you feel like you're talking in circles. So, having said that, I think that's what you need to look at and take the concerns of these citizens on the battery risk very seriously. Because that battery plant could go up to Indianapolis where the power is. But it would be quickly shut out. Because they're either rich enough up there or they don't want to take the risk. So, I want to answer your questions going forward, and what I'm saying is ask better questions than just say, oh, this is their answer, it sounds good to me. You wouldn't do that with any other project, and I would strongly suggest not doing that with new industry if you know you live in an area that has been targeted as a dump or sacrifice zone. for 70 years. I don't know if you had the opportunity to read Dr. Dunn's article, which eloquently puts forth why all those plants shouldn't have been located here in the first place. But that's the problem, is these businesses with this crooked map see southern Indiana as not only as fertile ground that people will somehow profit when they're spinning their wheels, but you have a state government that has absolutely no concern on the sum total of pollution, autism, infant mortality, cancers, and such. And most reasonable places would not have let it get this bad. So I'm open to questions. I don't know the permit specifically, I'm just telling you where to go with it. This company will go because of their history of flagrantly mocking and circumventing attempts at preventing real illness. And with pollution, you have to understand, especially in southern Indiana, there's a lot of chronic forever pollution, like the coal ash ponds, on with the agriculture pollution. So maybe that makes an explosion minor, I don't know. But this company has deliberately done that for years on big target areas with these poison parrots. And that is scientifically verifiable, but the problem is you're also talking about a state that doesn't want to collect the data on exactly how much this stuff bolsters. And that all boils down to the government. That's the one thing I saw. A lot of people in public health are well motivated. But I sat at meetings where I was deliberately told the governor will never go for this. And that's on decreasing infant mortality. I've also talked to IDA and got emails that literally say sometimes things just don't make sense. You know, so the corruption is there. The question is whether Du Bois County is going to shed this history of just taking these people at their word and wondering why our health statistics are bad. It's not a mystery to me. And that's what I'm trying to explain, is that it can't just be one project. It needs to be really understanding that some things are too good to be true, and that charlatan people that bring in these kind of businesses and concepts need to be shown the door. And that would at least be a start. Long overdue.
Anyone on the board have anything for Dr. Kryline? Her time has just about expired.
I don't have any questions, but I appreciate your time today.
Appreciate it.
Yep, I don't have any comments for you either, so thank you for your presentation.
Were you able to read the materials that I sent via email?
I don't believe I received anything from you via email. I looked at your banners that you left.
Okay. Did that all make sense? I mean, it should be pretty self-explanatory. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. The biggest problem is saying no when these people pressure you, instead of doctors and citizens saying, we're tired of being sick and this is too risky and too expensive.
Okay, thank you.
Trust me, I've been in had walked in fireplace for 15 years practicing medicine.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so I guess while we are on that topic, I did have something I wanted to share briefly, just to fill in the board. Last week, 3 representatives from EDP. 2 weeks ago, they contacted me, asked if I could meet with them last week, so I met with them last Wednesday or so. And they are the ones doing the Duff Solar plant, or the Duff Solar fields, I suppose. So they currently are working on 600 south, 600 west from the railroad track. Remember where we put the new stop arms in, that one? And they're working south, so that direction. And I guess their goal or their plan had been to do a phase 2 north of the railroad track. And they asked what is the likelihood that we would look at we would take their application and we would look at, consider approval of their phase 2. I wanted to share this map with you, I can show the public too in a moment, but so here's that railroad track, here's the back road that takes you to, there's public access, Division Road this way, and Duff is over in this area. So I mean, this is a pretty significant footprint. If they wouldn't build all of this out according to them, they would, but because not everybody wants to participate, but they shared this. And so just for the public, that's about the size of what they're looking at. So you look at it on a map, that's a long distance. I mean, I've driven that road a few hundred times, and going from public access to that railroad track, that is a huge footprint. So that was their question, and I wanted to tell the board what my response was, and if you feel differently, then we can follow up with them. But my follow-up, or my thing to them was, the chances of us probably having an appetite to approve that are 0. And I don't think that the public has an appetite for it. I don't think we did. I don't think the public does either. I wanted to make sure that that's actually the feeling of the board. I assumed it was because we have a moratorium and we wouldn't approve them anyway. I wanted to follow up with you so you know. So Commissioner Hofstadter, thoughts?
At least during the moratorium period, no, I have no appetite to approve anything new. I think once we review and maybe reset some standards, at that point, we can discuss it again.
Yeah, that's a lot. Yeah. Not in favor of any of this, so.
So the other big documents there are road use agreement, and I don't remember what the other portion of it is, but just the documents that we would have required had we accepted an application, so.
Not in favor of that, no.
So there's that. They're working on their phase 1, phase 2. I told them that we probably aren't interested in that. So I don't know what they'll do to come back on that, but that's where we were. All right, we have about 4 more minutes until we have to do bid openings at 9 o'clock. So, Mr. Lee, do you think you can finish up? And last we were talking about was the gravel road conversion. We will, the commissioners will have that documentation to look over your notes. I don't think there's any action taken from us on that. So you can go on to intern.
Okay, intern for engineer. With your approval, we would like to hire at least 1, preferably 2 interns for the summer to help with the color inspections, taking asphalt core samples on new roads, overseeing bridge construction, and many other tasks to take off Levi's streets. We do have the money appropriated for that also. So
how is the money appropriated for that? I don't remember us creating those positions ever.
I just know it's always in the line item. Ann showed me that she had like 31,000 for it.
So they're not intern, these aren't new positions. These are the positions Brent has
Yes,
had people. I was thinking something differently because we've talked previously about having, say, a person who's in engineering school or somebody that's a graduate of engineering school before they're licensed, work with us as an intern. I talked with Brent about that previously, but this is something different. This is just having some extra help for you.
Yeah, I believe they're supposed to be graduated from high school.
Right.
So it's, but going into a engineering scholarship.
Okay, I think I understand. I saw intern for the engineer and I was thinking something different than what we've done in the past. Does the board have any issues with this?
No, we've done it in the past and always worked well.
Okay, so,
All righty.
just for the record, I'll just make a motion that we approve the intern as requested here.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
And last I got is Cume Cap approval. With your approval, I would like to go to the council and ask for money out of Cume Cap for equipment purchase. So, and I did give you a 5-year equipment rotation. So that's what we'd like to do, is go to the council and ask for an approval.
So just for the record here, we have, I'm going to trade in 3 Fords for some dump trucks. Is that what we're looking at
Yes,
mainly?
Yep.
And an excavator.
and an excavator, yeah.
So when you and I drove to Pike a couple of weeks ago, we talked about some new equipment. Is that something outside of this?
That is outside. We don't even know for sure if we can get our hands on it yet. We're hoping to. It is a chip box, a self-propelled chip box, what another county has, but I believe there are some other counties wanting it also. I know that this is a thing that we talked about for years that I know of, and it was just, they're way too expensive, but we got in our hands. We went down and looked at it. Me and Levi and both mechanics went down and looked at it. Very good shape, very nice piece of equipment.
So you may be back for additional funds for additional equipment.
Well, we're hoping to move things around. Get that.
So if you're able to get that, some of this may be pushed to next year.
Yes,
And the total from Cume Cap would be $400,000.
yes, yep.
Anybody have any questions? Done? I'll move that we approve the highway department to go in front of the county council for approval for the Cume Cap funds for equipment purchases.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Okay, that's all I got.
Thank you.
Thank
Just
you
in
very
time.
much.
Thank you, Don.
We're gonna check at the courthouse and see if there's any additional bids that came in there.
Okay, she hasn't been here yet. There's one coming over here.
Liz brought it over.
Oh, she brought it already? Okay, yeah, Liz brought it. Okay, thanks. Bye.
It being 9 o'clock, it's time for Community Crossing 2026-01 bid opening. Mr. Schneider will take care of that.
Yes, we have 4 bids. The first bid that I'm opening is from Calcon Paving. Their bid is in the amount of $1,144,891.30. 1144891.30. Second bid will be from J.H. Rudolph. Their bid is in the amount of $1,141,348.00. 1141348.00. Third bid for the project is from CNR Construction. Their bid is in the amount of $1,128,000 and $20, sorry, and 75 cents. So that's 1,128,020.75. Apologize for saying more dollars too soon. The last bid is from E&D Paving. Bid is in the amount of $1,218,775.00. 1218775.00. The county engineer Leffler will take these probably under advisement, make sure all the documents and requested information is included in the packets. And they come back with a recommendation. Is that right?
My intentions would be to come back with a recommendation today. I'll follow up after I take them under advisement.
Would you like to give your report?
Yes,
Before you do that?
Let's go ahead and do that.
Leave out the latest on your desk.
Okay.
No, no. But that's okay.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
I'll be good. Actually, yeah. Thanks. All right. Levi Leffert, your Boise County Engineer. First line item is Bridge 78 on County Road 600 West over Patoka River. This is one of the bridges that has been in the works for a little while. We started the design on this sometime last year with the American Structure Point doing the design. The project manual and plans for that bridge are 100% complete. I sent them to the board last week for review. I'd like to get final approval on the plans and project manual so I can advertise it out for bid. This work consists of ridge deck overlay, semi-arable inlet conversions. It's really it's work that needs to be done to the bridge to keep it in good condition for many more years to come. I've got proposed advertising dates of February 5th and February 12th with a proposed bid opening on March 2nd. As a heads up, this is going to be a 60-day planned road closure. This will be a significant impact on the traveling public. There is no good detour around, that is known. I set that closure date as 60 days, trying to find the good balance between giving the contractor enough time to do the work without overpaying, but yet still pushing them to making sure we're not impacting the public more than we need to. There's that balance point. If you don't give enough days, then you're paying for that overtime, paying for the weekend work. So that's where we're at. We're looking at a late spring, early summer to start the closure, and it will go throughout the summer. It'll wrap up around school, start of school, maybe a little into the school year. So this is the cover sheet of the plans, which has the signature. So if the board approves, I don't know where you want to sign or if you want to do it afterwards, but there's. So our recommendation is to approve the plans and project manual so we can advertise to bid.
Anyone have any questions or comments on the project manual or the plans?
I do not.
Do not.
It seemed in order to the best of my knowledge. So I'll move that we approve the plans and the project manual so that we can advertise for the project.
I'll second.
Any other discussion?
No.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. I don't know that I've ever seen that we had to sign something like this before, so what is the purpose of this?
That is just showing that this is the Board of Commissioners, the county approved it. Just showing you guys really gave your seal of approval,
Okay.
showing it's a county project. We don't do jobs like this very often, so, but in the past, commissioners have signed these as well.
There's a few homeowners there that are gonna be impacted pretty seriously,
Yes, they will.
but you gotta have safe bridges too.
And I wanted to note, there will be an actual contract after the project is awarded, so separate. Next line item, here's just a picture to show you guys. This is the St. Anthony Road North precast concrete box culvert. That work was complete on January 9th. That box culvert there you see in the picture, that replaced a corrugated metal pipe that was in poor condition and it was undersized. So what we did right there was we put that box in and it only took 1 week. So road was closed on a Monday and opened back up on Friday. Went pretty smooth.
No, good job on that one, for sure.
And then item number 3, proposed bridge crew in-house projects for 2026. I felt that it was important to get the groundwork all laid out for 26 and to let the board and public know these are my intentions on what we plan to do for in-house projects for the bridge crew. So I'm not going to go through each one, but they are listed. Actually, I will go through each one because it won't take long. So the public can hear it. Bridge 116 on 820 East, beams and deck replacement. Bridge 36 on Celestine Road North, beams and deck replacement. Bridge 119 on Club Road, beams and deck replacement. And then a small structure, which is a small bridge, number 16 on Du Bois Road Northeast. We'll also get a beam and deck replacement and a concrete floor. And then the concrete drive-through on 1025 South, that is the one we discussed last year. There's existing concrete stream crossing, we will replace that in kind. There's a pipe on Hillham Road South that is in poor condition, significantly undersized, that will get replaced with a 5-foot by 12-foot cast in place concrete box. Got a small structure on 1150 East. We're gonna pour a concrete floor in that, along with a concrete floor on small structure number 12 on 400 East. And
So
then,
for those two, is that just like an overlay or what did we do there?
are you asking about the concrete floor?
Or are those ones that you replaced could you just give me more detail on those two?
So the concrete floor, that is the actual flow line of the creek. The footers are exposed by years of erosion and scouring. So we pour a concrete floor between the footers to stabilize, protect the footers and prevent further scouring.
Makes sense.
So it's a maintenance thing with us. So those are the big ticket items for 2026 bridge crew, and those are in no particular order. They'll get shuffled around depending on what makes sense and when school's in versus out. Farmers, crops, all that gets taken into consideration, so we do what's practical on that. Any questions on that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then proposed bridge jobs, which we contracted out. We've got a few of them. Bridge 78, we just talked about that one. And then Bridge 107 and Bridge 240. That's on St. Anthony Road North and St. Anthony Road West. Funds were appropriated for that back in early 2025 to do ridge deck overlays. I will be doing the plans and contract items in-house on that and get those out for bid sometime yet, first half of this year. So that's all I've got on my list, so.
I don't think I have anything additional.
No, I don't.
I'll take the community crossing 2601 bids under advisement and give an update to the board.
Thank you.
Also, not sure if you got this.
Yeah. One of these came in the mail too, the board. I'm gonna show it later. Word mail. So, just so the public knows, again, I put it on our Facebook page on Wednesday, January 21st, from 5:30 to 7:30 at the Huntingburg Event Center in AES of Indiana. They've been a big part of our discussions at the commissioners meetings the last few months. They're going to be available for the public to talk to about the solar and storage projects. So if anyone is interested in that, they will be available for a couple hours there. Mr. Rhodes sent out something to us last week about the wage study survey feedback. Do you have feedback on that?
I don't, I'm at the moment.
Okay. So I think he wants that pretty soon, so they can get that out if you want to review it and give him feedback. If you have it, great. If you don't have anything, I'm sure he's okay with that too. So that's an ongoing project. We're a couple minutes ahead of schedule. Mr. Taylor, are you available? Everybody here that you need to hear?
Yeah.
Oh, actually, I apologize. We're not to you yet, Kevin Hinton. We're supposed to talk to you, Kevin. I apologize.
That's okay, I'm not.
You guys are all kind of in the same family, I think.
Yes. This here is,
So the agenda item, just for the public, is Veteran Services Biannual Update, Senate Enrolled Act 433. Mr. Kevin Hinton.
like I said, my name's Kevin Hinton. I'm the Southwest District Service Officer for Indiana Department of Veteran Affairs. I have 15 counties in Southwest, which Du Bois is one of them. What I'm going over is Indiana Code 10-17-1-9, formerly known as Senate Bill 433, that was passed in the state last year. The first page is basically self-explanatory. If you have any questions.
Let's see. So it, just again for the public, this has to do with the accreditation of
The county
service
veteran
officers.
service officers here in Indiana.
Okay.
On the second page, I would like to point out, chapter 3-1, that your county veteran service officer is a paid employee meeting the requirements of 1,000 work hours annually and maintaining 1,000 posted office hours per year and conducting veterans benefits assessment fully complies with state and federal standards, which your county service officer complies with, because 4 days a week is his office hours. On the next page, office hours, address, and contact information needs to be posted on or near the office door.
Which number are you on now, Mr. Hinton?
3-2.
Okay.
Which he has his hours on the door down there. 3-3, office space. The county service officer has dedicated private office space that allows for confidential discussion of sensitive veterans information, fully meets the state standards, which he has that separate office.
Yes.
In 4-1, under technology, your CVS has access to reliable internet and capable office computer for the claims management system, which we are currently using what is called Vetrospect to provide the claim management research, and both him and Maria both has Vetrospect. The state pays for the CVSO's account, and then the county pays for the second account. And he does have reliable phones. I'm not sure if he has a PIV compatible smart reader, card reader. I know Susan did. I'm assuming it's still there. Scanner, fax, uploader, electronic signature pad, fully meets state standard, which he has. On the next page, 4-2, your CVSO actually use Vetrospect, which is our claim management system for all required functions meeting state standards. Currently, he does not have a PIV card, which allows him to access the VA's system. He's currently trying to get his accreditation with the American Legion and the VFW, but he will still need to be required to get that PIV card before June 30th. And I will work with him on that to get that. 4 dash.
What does that do for him?
It basically allow, if he has accreditation with the American Legion or the VFW, and the veteran has what we call power of attorney for one of those veterans organizations, he would be able to go into the VA system and see the veteran's whole claim, where he can basically navigate the veteran in the right direction of what forms needs to be filled out in the claims management system.
So currently, he has to rely on the veteran themselves to go into their own system.
Or call me up and I look it up.
Right.
Currently, how it's been working is him and Maria emails me and asks me to pull their last decision letter and what they claimed previously, and I upload it into the claims management system.
Understood.
4-4, mandatory training.
So how long should that have taken him to get? I mean, is this something we're behind on?
No, it's just his having trouble getting accreditation through the American Legion and VFW. I'm not sure where he's at on the American Legion accreditation, but that's the main one that we in Indiana get, because they're the biggest veterans organization in the state of Indiana, and they have allowed us to be accredited with them since 2015. So I have to check and see where he's at on that accreditation, and then get him started on the PIV, because no use for the PIV if he don't have the American Legion accreditation. CVS utilize all required technology, equipment, and system in full compliance with established protocol, security standard, and normal operating procedures while conducting daily veteran benefits, full meeting state standards. Chapter 5, 5-1. Your CVSO is scheduled to attend and pass all required annual IDBA training. The 1 day in the spring, which is in April. There's a 4-day summer training from June 15th to the 18th, and the 1-day fall district training in September to fully meet state standards. And this year we're having outside law firm come in to do those trainings. So it's pretty that they need to be there for that training. Well, otherwise they'll have to go to Indianapolis for 4 days and do it at the office. online. Your CVSO completes all mandatory training modules and passes associated proficiency examination as required by IDVA, fully meeting state standards. The CVSO has completed the VA trip training and passed the proficiency examination and fulfill all other requirements of federal accreditation to represent veterans before the U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs, fully meeting state standards and federal standards. What that trip training is training that's done online, self-paced, that's required to get accreditation before with the VA, which he has Indiana Department of Veteran Affairs accreditation. 5-4, the current CVSO was hired prior to the new standards, is fully accredited and does not require new hire orientation. However, going forward, all new CVSOs will be required to complete orientation within 30 days and pass a full new hire training course within 90 days, fully to meet state standards.
And would that be with you that they would do that training?
I believe it's with at IDVA in Annapolis. They're still working out that new hire orientation training through that law office, and it's not quite there yet. Standards and performance, Chapter 6. Your CVS reports all required information and activities in the claim management system and provide any request data, records, and logs to IDVA for verification of compliance and performance, fully meeting state standards. He is currently putting all communications in that claims management. There will be other items that will be coming down that will be on the VetraSpec that he will be required to log to show how many veterans he's been seeing and whatnot like that. And the last one I want to point out is 6-2 key performance indicators. Other than the PIV card, the previous, he is fully meeting all performance standards indicated, fully complied with state standards. Right above in that is some of the active use requirements that's going to be in the claims management system is intake form, a constituent checklist, and then the claim application, number of claims, and claimant information, responsibility, liability forms. And that's the gist of the law enforcement.
I don't believe so. No, I think, I'm glad you came in and this is good information to have. I knew that there were bills about the VSO last year, but I wasn't even familiar that it had passed, and so
Right.
this is good to keep up on this.
And
Are there any going through this year? Any bills going through this year for the VSO?
nothing really significant, nothing for the county service officers, no.
Okay.
But there's some veteran bills, being that it's a non-budget year, they don't get too many of those types of bills. And it's usually the budget year when they really have all kinds of veterans bills. But this is a biannual requirement for me to come and meet with you guys to give you updates on the CVSO. Previously, the law stated that I the IDVA supervised their policies. That's no longer the case. We're kind of like the EPA and State Board of Accounts versus we'll do the training, still do the training, but we're not overseers like previously. And that, you can thank Hamilton County for that.
Well, it'll be
That's
good
why
to see you
I
again
feel
later this year
Yes, I'll be back probably in September.
then. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody need a minute of break,
Can
anything?
I have somebody to make a copy? Because I didn't get
I scribbled on mine.
You have one?
But you're welcome to it.
He has one.
The one I was gonna give to Speedy,
I can just make a copy and I'll.
he has it on email.
Okay.
So he don't probably need it.
All right. Mr. Chair, one of the items that I wanted to discuss today was the unknown owners. I saw that you sent an email yesterday.
Yes.
So I haven't had time to really dig through what you said again. So you want to maybe do it next meeting, or do you want to talk about it now?
If you want, I can summarize what I had said.
So what happened again, and this is ever since I was a county treasurer, we would look at parcels around the county and we would get all these bills back and say unknown owner, or it would say, it might have somebody's name that hasn't been there for 75 years because just the way the nature of land transfers, I don't know what happens, but there's several dozen properties around the county that are called unknown owners in DuBois County. It's always bothered me. I believe I brought it up multiple times. Mr. Sheriff probably remembers last time I did it. And every time we look at it, they're like, it's going to cost you this much to have somebody dig the research, and it's going to be a judicial process. And it's so long story short, a parcel came up again. Because I work with land in my other business too, at the bank and here, and I found one again. I'm like, can we look at this again? And so that's where we are.
So you've summarized, I guess, kind of my part of it too, that you first brought it up as the treasurer, and then I had assisted a couple of landowners in the county to basically stake claim to that. My interpretation was it was unowned, unclaimed. So in order to claim it, you need to file a quiet title action, which is where you file a complaint to basically be against your neighbors so that they have notice, and then you publish it against the world and state that I'm using this piece of property. I have been using this piece of property. No one's paid taxes on it because there's no tax bill because it's an unknown owner. And then basically do a title search and all that. And then if successful, a judge enters a decree that says it's now yours, which then does benefit the county because that parcel now is back on the tax rolls, which can generate some revenue. My thought process for some individuals would be, I'm already using the land, I'm already mowing the grass. I don't have to pay any tax on it right now, and nobody else is coming in and saying it's theirs. So it's kind of, they have to balance the risk and the reward of proceeding. So I think that's kind of the struggle sometimes. You do the work to get a bill to use land that you've already been using. I'm not saying that's everyone, but that's kind of what I've heard from some folks.
And some folks may just say, I didn't even know that little parcel existed next to me.
Correct, and it would depend upon the size of it. There are some that are slivers that no one would know about, short of poking around on GIS, but then there are some that are a little larger than that.
Like this one's 0.4 acres, so it's a significant amount of
That's a
property.
significant, that's a lot, that's a buildable lot. So one might want to stake claim to it. And I think you would, as treasurer, I think I sent letters out to even adjoining landowners. Maybe that was after your administration, I don't remember. Basically sending a letter to the neighbor stating that there's an unknown parcel next to you. If you have an interest, then contact such and such.
Contact an attorney, they'll help walk through the process. So in some of these cases, couldn't it be that it was a survey issue, or it was they thought, or they actually did the paperwork and it should have transferred, but something fell through. Some of it could be a paperwork issue.
Correct.
I guess my thought on it was, could the county pay a title company to do the research, to trace back who really should have been the rightful owner of this? So that's a cost. They come back and they report, here's what we found. It should have transferred along with the Smiths back in 1955, but it didn't for some reason, and then we would have the knowledge on it. And then the next step would be, I guess we could like you said, we could have a document that quiets the title. We could transfer it now to the right person if that person would still be there, which in many cases wouldn't be the case.
Right.
So what do we do with the piece, I guess?
Sometimes it's just a lack of, it was a bigger 40 and it just wasn't called for, so there is no more.
There's a remainder.
Correct. When it's drawn on, it meets and bounds as opposed to a straight quarter section. Something, I mean, these are surveyors things, but, you know, those slivers get missed. It's 4/10 of an acre, that's one of the larger ones that I've seen like that. You know, I think.
It's not along the river, because maybe the river moved over time.
You know, this one is, if I remember right, this is Portersville. When you get up to Portersville and take a left at that, there's a house that looks like it used to be a church, and you take a left there and it goes around a little curve, and there's I think it's there, maybe it's not. But anyway, there's a home, there's almost a half acre.
If the chain of title is clean enough and it's easy for us to show that, you know, it should have been transferred, but it got missed somewhere along the lines from the auditor's transfer books, et cetera, that's one thing. But even if we ended up with a name owner and it's now someone who is long deceased, right? No estate or an estate was opened and then this was not a part of that administration, it create new legal issues. I would think in order to get it cleaned up. To me, the quiet title, though, it's, you know, it is a bit of a process. It's not overly difficult. Normally, there's not a lot of challenges because, again, you and I are neighbors and you know that I've been doing this and you assumed all along it was mine. Those are the good things. But it's when the excess, well, actually, no, it's mine now, right? That's when it does escalate. So they're all case by case basis.
Check.
Without a clear thing.
I had the same kind of problem in English. There was a piece of property next to us. It was at 1.5 acres. It was called a gap. And I had to actually go to all around me, touch that property and get their sign off on it more or less. And then we could take the paperwork and then they added it to my property.
So the court,
But it helped.
you gave public notice, the court then transferred it to
It
you.
wasn't as much as what you guys are saying. I just had to get notice from the neighbors stating that they were okay with that. It was letting up to my property, to their property as well. And then they added it to mine as well. But it was considered a gap is what we called it.
So it seems the last couple of times that I brought this up, after talking to the assessor and the attorney and probably the auditor, I thought, if this costs $700 or some amount of money to go through this process, is it worth it? And you would say, if it's 0.02 acres, is that worth it? You could argue that no, that's not going to be worth it because it's so minimal. On the other hand, having imperfect records that will go with the county forever, that's an issue too. So anybody have any thoughts on that or just want to chew on it for now?
Just chew on it for now.
I will, I'll give it a little more thought and we'll see if, do you have a thought on it? Do you think it's?
I mean, like you said, it's gonna take time to work, and it's gonna take, I mean, we don't have time to do that.
Right, I wouldn't expect anybody to add this to their existing workload, but I guess my thought was if there's 40 of these and we do 4 of them a year, at least we're getting, start with the big pieces.
Right.
And work down, and then at some point we can say, we're no longer interested in finding those owners. But I think it's at least worth considering. Okay, we better get back on the agenda here, or back on schedule. So Operation Mind, Body, and Soul, Boone Taylor is here. He has a request for opioid funds, I believe, is the
Yes.
reason for your visit. So when we met in December, we met previous to December, and then in December, I invited you to come before the board to give an idea of what your request was. So has anything significantly changed since you and I met last time?
Does anybody have one of these?
It appears,
No, nothing has really changed. I did put the other proposal in there that we talked about as well, for the upgrades on the gym. But what I'm here today for is I put together a 2-year pilot program, requesting $60,000 the first year, $40,000 for the second year for the opioid settlement for veteran law enforcement, first responders, and mental health. So we would propose a 2-year pilot program to strengthen community mental health and opioid recovery supports for veterans, law enforcement, first responders in Du Bois County. This population faces an elevated risk of misuse, trauma, exposure, and suicide. This initiative, it will prevent coordinated access to behavioral health services, peer support recovery, trauma-informed wellness intervention, fully aligned with Indiana's opioid settlement abatement and co-occurring mental health use category Exhibit E and Indiana or IC 4-12-16.2-5. So we're kind of taking a different approach with this, with Operation Mind, Body, and Soul. We help veterans a lot, but we've brought on the new gym and we have space to help our law enforcement first responders as well. So it's kind of getting them fit. It's going a little bit beyond the recovery part and the peer support group. It's actually offering fitness and other things and community connections to keep them recovered. So not just get them recovered, but keep them recovered and keep them getting fit, educating them, and keeping them active in the community to keep them better. So this is just a 2-year program. The first year, of course, we're asking for 60 because the startup is always a little more. But then the next year, being a little less because we've already did the hard part of it. So we would facilitate it as Operation Mind, Body, and Soul. And then, of course, come back and report back to you guys on how it's going and stuff as well. And on the next pages, so it's stapled together. That's the 2-year pilot program there. On the next page, it states how the alignment with the opioid settlement goes, and those at IC 4-12-16.2-5. I'll give you guys a second to kind of look through that. And Chad and I did talk about like sustainability. I do work a full-time job, but this isn't just me. This is me facilitating it. But we work with the vet center out of Evansville. They come here and they do therapy sessions at our location at the River Center. We work with the VA outreach out of Robley Rex as well. And of course, we're part of all the organizations, veterans organizations out around here as well. And just a little bit about the gym as far as the fitness part of it goes. We put together a 7,000 square foot warehouse that has gym equipment that we had over here at this facility at the River Center. And we put it over here in a bigger area where we can accommodate more people, including the law enforcement.
I'm trying to keep up, but I'm looking at things at the same time. Can you tell me, is it the same facility that you and I talked about
Yes.
before? You've already moved things into there?
We've
That's
already moved
already-
things in. We already got it up and going. We had Seth Nycom, the Indiana Fire Chief, come out and inspect it. We did the things that he wanted done. So it is open and available. We did receive a grant from Jasper Engines to get a boxing ring. So we will have a boxing ring available for our veterans and law enforcement first responders as well.
So the heat, the toilets,
We-
everything is,
Everything's working. We could use some insulation. It's
so
not.
if you don't know, it's an old warehouse.
Yes. Right now, if we go over a certain amount of people, then we will have to go to some ADA things. We do have a handicap ramp going into the facility now that was donated to us. So we're up to code where we need. If we go over the 25 people, then of course we have to up the standards some as well.
And where is this warehouse?
So it's 611 East 6th Street, right by the Riverwalk. It's where downtown Dog used to be.
Oh, okay, I know where you're at. Okay, nice, nice.
So we did have a really nice room at the River Center. It was just too small, and to accommodate everybody that we wanted to, we didn't have room.
And you're keeping the River Center property, but you're
Yes, we turned the gym into a classroom area. Jasper Group came in and put on new desks and podiums and everything for us to kind of help set it up as our classroom. That's where, Operation Mind Body. So we want to educate, we want to get them fit, we want to get them out doing things in the community, get them involved. And that's the whole approach on how we're helping people heal and keeping them healed is by that process.
Very nice.
So then you, at my request, I think you took what you had in those 2 pages and kind of condensed it into a 1-page
Yes.
document, so that's what that is.
And then like moving forward to some of the things that we were working on, I'm actually working with a lady that wrote a grant for the sanctuary on the hill for Mission First. It's a huge facility that they're building in Elberfield, I believe. But a really nice facility to help out, and eventually we would like to build something around this area the same. So I'm working with her as well for some later improvements. But we got to start somewhere. And also working with writing a grant for the Staff Sergeant Fox grant, which is a $750,000 grant, which is all in line with the Veterans Mental Health Program as well. And then Indiana Department of Veterans Affairs has some grants that we're pursuing in March. We've already expanded to Tell City, and we're looking to go to Greene County next as well with Operation Mind Body. So
Can you tell me again, I was doing both at the same time, the 700, you say you applied for a 750?
we are applying as soon as it opens up. We missed the deadline last year by a little bit, but working with the groups that we've been working with, which Indiana Department of Veterans Affairs, Robley Rex, and some of the other ones, and all the veteran organizations here as well. We've kind of made the accreditation, and having those letters will help just support us with that grant.
And as we continue through the rest of your packet here, you have 2 requests. The one is the $100,000 over 2 years. The second one is a $50,000 gym remodel. That's still the total of what your ask is for this time.
Yes.
And when I believe that the county can't make any promises for year 2, but we would consider the year 1 request. I believe does that sound right? Auditor Moore, we can't promise anything from another year because it hasn't been budgeted yet.
We can commit to it, and you have to remember to do that.
So it's not
Just come back.
guaranteed, but
Right, and come back and show where we're at with
Progress.
because really another opioid abatement action could come in and we could say, our priorities have changed. We'll have a new commissioner in a year from now and things could change, but we do have the opportunity to fund in this business year.
I think as the community, we're kind of lacking on that support for our law enforcement and first responders as well. There was an incident that happened not too long ago, and one of our police officers and our first responders had to go out of county to seek help. That's not acceptable to me, nor should they have to. Should they spend the money and their time off to go seek that treatment somewhere else? We should be providing it right here.
So when would this 2 years start?
Right now. 2026 is what I got on here. And then, of course, going through this year into and ending up in, of course, the end of 2027.
So as soon as we get you funded,
Yes.
it's.
Everything's already in place. I've already had it. It's all in line. All we have to do is have the funding to do it.
It's underfunded at the moment.
And a lot of this, this past year, we've, just to kind of give you a brief thing, we've taken in almost $50,000, $47,000 and some change in donations and support from the community. We've had walkers, wheelchairs, electric scooters donated to us to help our mobility for our veterans. so they don't have to go through the process of the VA and make it, they just give us their name, number, and we let them use the equipment. We have hospital beds that were donated to us, so the community support and the funding that we've had has been incredible.
Do you have anybody else with you that has any comments, or are you just leading the show?
Well, Dave Flynn is pretty much, he knows what's all going on. Of course, he's in every veteran organization, but he helps out a lot with what we do here as well.
So, does anybody have any questions for Mr. Taylor?
No, I mean, he's covered it all.
So my thoughts were, the only people that we've invited to speak, that have made requests would be this one, Safe Haven with their transportation needs. So they were scheduled previously, it snowed that day and she hasn't rescheduled. So in my estimation, I'd like to give funds to them because they're doing great work getting people around in our community. And Mr. Taylor has a good, I think, application here. And then, I don't remember what Rise we've already funded. And then Mr. Crutchfield does some, I gave him some information, so I don't know if he's going to come and ask for it. So I just wanted to give the board that those have been, we've had a few requests. We have about $94,000 that was budgeted for this year that we haven't expended yet, or we haven't committed. So we can take action in a number of ways. We could say, Mr. Taylor, we support you. We're going to fund you $60,000 today, or if we did the gym remodel as well, that would be another $50,000. Or we could say, we'll take it under advisement, we'll make a determination at the next meeting, that way we'll give safety one more chance to come in, or anybody else. Because once this money is accounted for, I'm not gonna go back to the well this year for more, we'll do it again next year. My thought on it would be, we take this one under advisement, at the next meeting, we make a determination. I think for the benefit of the opioid funds, and just kind of what we're doing, in my opinion, would be we don't fund the gym remodel. I don't think that it meets the criteria that the state generally allows for funding. They don't want you buying equipment and buying those kind of things. That's usually not how they work. But for what he's doing in the pilot program here for the mental health and recovery, I think that fits within the exhibit E that they have, so that the money can be, that the restricted funds can be spent on. So I think that 100% falls in. We won't have any pushback on that. So I, myself, if nobody else comes in and asks for money, I think I'd be completely fine with fully funding that $60,000 unless other information comes to light in the next couple of weeks. Mr. Hofstadter, any thoughts?
Yeah, I think waiting until our next meeting to give Safe Haven that opportunity to present, I think would be good. I think you got a great program here. And just depending on how things go with Safe Haven, I would support it, so.
As much as I would love to say yes right now, I think you're doing great things. Keep doing what you're doing, but we still have to give those an opportunity to come and present.
I understand.
I have a question. Since you said it's a 2-year pilot, if you only get year 1, what happens to year 2?
Well, that's where if you look at the other funding, where the Staff Sergeant Fox grants that we're pursuing to help fund that. So, and also the grant from the Indiana Department of Veterans Affairs as well, is expanding what we're doing and stuff too. So it's not just for this, those big grants won't just be for this location, it will be for Southern Indiana and what we're doing to expand. We're trying to hit the counties with those bigger grants that are struggling the worst. And of course, we've kind of went a little above and beyond here in Jasper, but this is kind of the pilot to show everyone that it's working. Last year we had 8 veterans that reached out to us that were suicidal. All 8 are still here. So we're doing a program that really works, and it's the whole thing. It's based on the operation Mind, Body, and Soul. It makes a better you. So you educate, you get fit, and you start volunteering, doing good things. It just builds a better you. So the process is there. We just have to multiply it.
Okay, and we have one more comment, Mr. Flynn?
Yes, sir. Just also in support of what Boone's been doing for all the veterans organizations. serving on the veteran council here in the county and seeing what we've done over the past 2 years and how support from the 13 organizations are, behind what he's doing and getting the more support from all of our first responders and local law enforcement. There's a lot of fundraising and stuff, that we're pursuing as well to make sure that we support the programs as this is growing, obviously not just for Jasper, but for the county, and then serving as a model for the rest of the state. We went up to veteran legislative days this year. We plan on being more involved at the state level and just different things. So if different ways for funding do come available, one, we can help make sure we're 100% funded, and two, start acquiring funds so we can expand our programs, even maybe beyond, our first responders and people, just for greater mental health for the whole community. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Flynn. Okay, if the county auditor, if you don't mind putting them on for 10 minutes at the next meeting, 5 or 10 minutes, it wouldn't take us too long to probably determine what we're doing. So we'll probably put it on as the next open slot, and then we may move it down the line if others come in. So right now it would be 8:45, but if we have Safe Haven come in or anybody else, we'll probably push this one down so we can hear those presentations first. Does that sound good to the board?
Sounds good.
Thank you, Mr. Taylor.
Thank you.
Mr. Drawley?
Yes, real quick. From earlier, I just need the signature for the investment policy. Wait, they're fine. All done.
No problem.
Had it sitting there, but I didn't ask your signature.
Yes. Mr. Madden, scope of work proposal, any corrections?
Wyatt Madden, Director of Community Corrections, here today for a work proposal for all 6 pod bathrooms. Back in October, our maintenance supervisor, or Steve, our maintenance supervisor, noticed the epoxy flooring in our bathrooms, specifically around the shower area, started falling off of the drywall, specifically around the cove around the shower area. We contacted Crimp Construction and Jasper Equipment. They came in and did an assessment, and basically what we found out was basically water had gotten in behind the epoxy flooring and had deteriorated the existing drywall, and it needs to be cut out, replaced, and then the epoxy floor needs to be replaced as well in those areas, in all 6 dorms. We had gotten with RQAW, it came up with a plan, and Crimp Construction is going to basically head up that project for us.
So it's a situation where it was built to spec. The architect is saying that didn't work, so here's a solution, and we've looked through insurance, we've looked through trying to hold people accountable, we've looked through everything. It's not going anywhere. It's our job to do it as a maintenance item. And what is it, about $28,000?
Correct.
So it's a significant cost, but I don't know that we have an option. We went down every avenue we could. So I would support moving it forward to the county council for their approval. Myself, Commissioner Hofstadter?
I agree. I mean, it's something that absolutely has to get done. And I'm well aware that, all avenues have been tried, and it's just, at this point, we just need to do it.
Agreed. I think at this point, we just need to do it, work its course.
Okay, so I'll make a motion that we approve Mr. Madden moving the scope of work proposal and the quote to the county council for financial approval.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Anything else, Mr. Madden?
No, that's it.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I would like to take a moment, and then when we get back to Mr. Wilson, will be it.
You can see them over here. I don't remember, the paper. So she can start this, so she wants to take over.
Are you ready for the snow to come in?
Kind
Are you ready for the snow?
of gonna believe this, when somebody had a conversation with me yesterday. He showed me something on his
These are from here.
app. And we were gonna get 12 to 13 inches. I look at mine and it says 2 and 3. I thought, whether, did you just look at?
One of the guys came in this morning, he said he's seen that too.
No.
But then immediately right after that, he was down
Talk about a typo. You've got everything in a page. You know, a book stuff. Because that means my guys are out and I have to feed them and fuel them. So that means I'm around the clock as well as they are. And I was not looking forward to that.
What I don't know is
That's what we want. So, Steve tries to stay on the equipment, because they run.
I would too.
I would just continue to, we have to take on trucks, one particular truck that we have. And Steve don't like me driving, which I do fine, it's a 6-speed, I drive it. And we feed them and fuel them.
Once we know
So they can keep them access. We've got 3 guys that run.
That's what ours does too.
Yeah.
Ours too, whenever they're out, they make sandwiches and they take it around and that's.
Things like that, we feed them and chili. Stop trolling. How are you? Good.
We don't, we used to have a meet on it, now we don't have
Steve said something the other day, he scared me off. I said, I will. I didn't hear. You want here?
Levi, are you ready for the, sorry to interrupt. Are you
The girls at work to do market up. Somebody else was right there. We can hear your side. He's going,
Okay. Yeah, well, I'll touch base.
All right, it's 10 o'clock. Let's move on to our 911 tower lease renewal. Mr. Wilson.
Good morning, Stuart Wilson, Director, Du Bois County 911. I emailed just this morning some documents about tower leases for 2 different communications towers. They are unchanged in the terms. There's expected price increases that are about 3% annually. If you break it down, the one is 15% over the life of the 5-year lease. The other one has pricing structure for increases at that rate. Those rate increases have remained static since we had those leases in 2016. I do not see anything that any reason that the county shouldn't move forward with those agreements. There is information attached with the E-Verify is done. We were a little slow getting to it. One lease expires this month. The other lease expires in March of this year. We do plan on continuing to have that as part of our communications infrastructure. We do need those leases in place. It is very critical for our first responders communication structure that we have. I don't need, I do have money in my regular budget to cover the expenses of those leases. It's an expected yearly billed amount, so there has been some increases. It does eat into some of our cushion, but not enough to concern me.
There's 2 exhibits with this one. Do you need 2 copies of that? Exhibit C.
I had a hard time breaking down what, I think HDF Properties also had a hard time. This is uncharted territory to do the E-Verify stuff. I'm not really a wealth of information. It's pretty new for me as well. I'm probably not very good at explaining to these vendors what and why we're trying to do this. I'm sure Mr. Schneider could answer those questions very quickly, but I'm not the guy. I present them with the documents, and I can tell them how other people have completed those.
They both seem to have our required language, so I think that we're fine in that area. If you're fine with the price increase seems reasonable, then that's fine.
I did also, just to be extra diligent, I did reach out to 2 different two-way communications companies, and I asked their opinion about those price increases and the rates that we were paying. Both of those vendors reported to me that they felt like it was a fair rate, and that we have long-term agreements at pretty fair pricing, or possibly even better than fair pricing, and that if we can lease the towers for that amount, that we should continue to do so.
Our other option would be put our own towers.
Yes. With
We're not, it's not, you do without
enormous,
tires.
enormous expense. I would expect easily could go into the millions if we were to build our own tower, maintain our own tower to the specs that it's required to do today. I know that if we talk about the state system, the state IPSC, Integrated Public Safety Commission system, and I know that Wayne County recently added 2 tower sites. I think their cost was, I don't remember if it was $4 million for both or $4 million per tower. It's a huge expense. So I think we should sit tight where we're at and continue to do these leases. These are local companies, local vendors. They've been great partners for us since 2016, and HDF Properties even before that. And we should continue with the relationship as is.
I agree with you. They've been good partners. I don't have a complaint with them. I think we actually, saying that the tower would be $4 million seems pretty outrageous though, because we put one up on the property behind the office, and I was thinking it was $100,000.
Yeah, to move it, to move that tower was 100, and I don't remember the exact amount, but these towers are not that small. The one on Greener Road in particular, if you were to look east right now, you can see it. It's way up in the air.
Mm-hmm.
And there's really just not that many places where you can find that tower site. The county would have to acquire land, would have to build some extraordinarily large tower. Anything over, I think 200 feet is the cutoff for FAA rules for lighting. And it becomes a forever expense.
Right.
And I'm a little hesitant to try to steer county resources down a large forever expense, especially currently. I think my job as director is to be as frugal as I can with the county money, leading into changes that are coming for everybody. And I think this is the best, this is the most frugal option.
Excellent. Okay. Mr. Chair, do you have any problems with the agreements? Commissioner Stefano, do you have any problems with the
No, I
agreement?
don't.
No. Okay. I'll move that we approve both of the tower lease renewals as they've been presented.
I'll second.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Anything else today, sir? We need to sign them. Or did you sign
There
them?
should be. We
Are
do
you
have.
signing on our behalf, or?
No, we need to, I think there's spots for us. to sign.
Yeah, I'm not, should be a commissioner sign off. Other business at 911, we do have 2 openings. And we do have a hiring process going right now. We're scheduled for interviewing some candidates tomorrow. I'm hopeful that we'll be able to get at minimum one position filled in shorter order, and then another position. We need to wait a minute. We had to pay out an employee that left. We had to pay out PTO. She didn't resign until after the first of the year, so we had a substantial payout. So we need to wait about 6 weeks before we could even onboard somebody. We'll see how the candidates go. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. We have a pretty good candidate as of today, but that will change. Until they're started work, we've lost candidates even after a job offer is agreed to. So I'm not gonna, but operationally, it's okay. I'm much more comfortable with us being down to one than I am us being down two. With us being down two, we do have a shift that is short. If somebody calls in or something happens or somebody needs off, we have to shift people's work hours around, and it's difficult. We've done it before, but I don't know. We had a 1.5 year period where we didn't run a hiring process, and that's a long time, and I'll count my blessings that we had that. And we all knew it was going to come to an end at some point, and that's okay. We're gonna get to work, and hopefully we have some good candidates we can onboard and get back to work. I've got some trainers that are dying to train. They haven't trained anybody for a year, and they're ready to go. They're itching to get after it. So that's about all for 911.
Just updated. How it's going.
Thank you.
We'll do that.
No rush. We'll wait early on anyway. I think you are correct. Okay, thanks, Sandy.
There is a spot here that says for the tenant, so it says community.
Sure.
County communications, if you want to sign that part. I signed the page before. Okay, before you go, let me look through the rest of this, make sure there's nothing else in here. Because I think there's a couple duplicates, but it doesn't hurt to have them signed.
Did you give them back to them?
Yeah.
I will give them.
All of these. Both parties.
Scan and have that.
Sure.
Yeah, she was here. You probably did one part.
The last time
It's my
was
scan.
before my tenure.
I'll try to scan it.
You scan all of them. I re-emailed with all the flyers and then today, so.
I think we're in good shape on that one. Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
We're a couple minutes early, but if the health department is ready, we could come up.
Morning, Christina Brady with Du Bois County Health Department. I'm here to update the Du Bois County Retail Food Establishment Ordinance. So this is kind of just a layout of the changes, it's one for each of you guys. This is the new ordinance highlighted with the changes, this is the old ordinance, and then Chad had some changes, so I made.
Oh, good, because that, yep, this will be last week, yep.
So the reason for the change of the ordinance, basically is because, the state, Indiana Department of Health, they updated their food code, so we have to update ours to reflect their changes. So the number one change was changing, from 7-24 to 7-26, so throughout our ordinance, I just updated that number, and then they changed some language. The biggest change was, a definition called potentially hazardous foods. They don't use that anymore. Now they use TCS foods, which is basically just foods that are controlled by time and temperature to keep them food safe. There was another change in the definition from each restaurant has to have a certified food manager. They used to call it a certified food handler. So now it's been changed to a manager. I think there was one other thing. It was just a code that we had to change. The new Indiana Food Code, their codes changed, which meant our codes changed. So anytime that we related to one of their codes, we had to update that in our ordinance. And then the last thing is section 13, it's miscellaneous. We just added some verbiage in there to just protect the ordinance. And then I made those changes that you recommended. That's on the last page.
So did you check, so the severability clause,
Yes.
you said you added one?
Yes.
You're good with that?
Yeah, she showed me what she had.
It was the same one we use in our septic ordinance. It's the same one we use in our septic ordinance. And critical, non-critical changed.
Oh, yeah, sorry. We used to do violations and they're based on critical and non-critical. They changed that language now. It's called priority foundation, and core. They basically mean the same thing. Priority is your very serious food safety sanitation violation. Priority foundation supports that violation, and then core is mainly just about the structure of the building, equipment, stuff that isn't gonna be something that needs to be addressed immediately. It isn't an imminent health hazard. It's something that can be worked on through time. Sure. So I think that was it on my list.
So I apologize for getting my responses back slower than I would like, but it was, didn't have a whole lot of time to.
And I took out that underscore too. Yeah.
Those are minor
I said
things,
it
but I'm
again,
like, if they're gonna be, we might as well do them properly.
Yeah. No, you got them back in perfect timing. So
Okay.
we're able to make the changes, and yeah, it's pretty standard. Just when something gets updated through the state, we always have to make our changes on our end, because that makes our ordinance invalid if we're not citing the correct code.
So for today, are you ready for us to approve the ordinance as it is? It seems like it's in order for me, but we don't have a final copy.
I do, I gave one to Sandy.
Okay, so that's the, anybody want to keep a copy of these? I don't need them. Okay, so here's your old and new, and I'll move that we approve the updates. We approve ordinance number 2026-01, amending the retail food establishment ordinance.
Second.
Any other discussion?
No.
Anything from you, Mr. Snare? No. Okay. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed, same sign. The motion carries.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you.
Sandy, do you have anything?
No, you just sent it to me by word, right?
Oh, the other update that I thought was interesting, and they're all the guys, is, it used to be if I had a violation today, I go into restaurant X, or you do, that will be, if one of your people go in and they see a violation, it used to be they'd have 2 weeks, right, to remedy it, and you could come back in week day 15 and it had to be fixed. Now it's what, 72 hours?
Yes, so it used to be 10 days for those critical violations, as long as it wasn't an imminent health hazard. Now your priority, which is your old critical, is 72 hours.
That seems like a good improvement.
Yeah.
It's harder work.
It's harder, yeah, it makes our timeline a little bit smaller. But yeah, it gives a little bit more oomph for the retail food establishment to fall through.
But so you're saying if somebody was using unsafe food handling and you notice that they're touching raw meat and they're touching prepared foods, that would get corrected immediately.
Yes.
You could fix it or you're not operating.
Yes.
But these are other things, maybe you're storing lettuce underneath beef or something, right? That would be where it's not imminent death, but it's not proper.
The main goal is to get everything fixed while we're there.
Right.
This is like your hand sink, which is a huge issue for food safety. Yes, if it's not hot enough, I've given you 72 hours to get a plumber out here and get that sink running properly. Stuff like that. But yeah, all that stuff that you see while you're doing an inspection, you want that to be changed right away while you're there.
So you educate while you're there and hopefully it.
My job is all about educating. It's not about policing or enforcement so much. I have to use that at the end of the day, but it's all about education.
How do you go about your inspections? Do you just do random inspections, or do you have
we have an inspection program that kind of guides us along. Each facility is plugged into the program and we have it set on a timer
Okay, that was.
to remind me, we do 2 inspections a year, so every 6 months, a restaurant will pop up.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, we don't tell them we're coming, sure, they're sporadic.
Sure.
We don't wanna do that at all, but yeah, the inspection program guides us through that.
Okay, I didn't know what you had and how, where, when you went, so, okay, that makes sense. All right. Great work, guys, thank you.
Thanks, have a good day.
Thank you. Okay.
Nice socks.
So I did, earlier I mentioned this compensation and benefits survey, so if you, again, if you have any comments on that, Mr. Ruiz would like to have that sometime soon. I was gonna talk to you about tax rates, so I'll try to, if it's gonna take too long, we won't do it here. But, so why are the tax rates higher this year than they were last year, for example?
Because that's how they're set.
I mean, is that, I don't know, is there any rhyme or reason to it? Because our assessment, our value of our assessment went up. And then our rate goes up as well.
With the new credits that the county, that the state applied with SB 1, I think our rates, our final payment is supposed to go down.
Right.
We haven't put those on yet, so. I mean, we just got them Friday.
Yeah, I'll talk to you about it afterwards. I don't know. I probably won't understand it in a minute.
There's a lot of changes in SB 1, so it's a lot to bring on.
I guess my fear was if the rate went up, values went up, people are gonna get higher bills, but they've
But the
been told they're
credits
gonna
are
be.
supposed to help it, bring it down, so.
Okay, Du Bois Strong agreement, we have, Mr. Kaiser, who is the attorney for Du Bois Strong. They've sent us their 2026 fee for service agreement. I will pass it along to, looks like we have 2 copies here. So I'll let you look at those if you guys want to check those out for a moment. But the letter reads, please find enclosed an execution for the agreement for professional area economic development services, which is a fee for services agreement. And it is the same as it was for the previous year, $59,262.89. And they want us to execute both agreements, and one is for us and one is to go back to Du Bois Strong's files.
Colton, are they gonna give us one for Du Bois County, or that is not this year?
It should be this year. I'm not sure if they do them separate meetings, if there's a reason, but.
Well, normally when we got them together, but we didn't get to this year, so that's how I was wondering.
I'll check in with that. I'm not sure. But you
I was
should
gonna
be,
ask
so.
when I get this back to them, but.
I don't recall, I don't know if we got them together or not.
Yeah. You'll see both of them this year from us, but I don't recall if they come together or not.
Anybody have any comments or questions before we take action?
Same as last year.
Okay, so I'll make a motion that we approve the agreement for professional area economic development services with Du Bois Strong.
I'll second.
Any other discussion?
Sir.
All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That motion carries. And we need your attestation,
Can
please.
you tell me the total again, 59,000?
Here you go, you can keep that. Don't worry. And here's the, you're welcome. So I'll just briefly mention this, the continued, I guess the continued participation in or withdrawal from the RDA, who's been doing work on the mid-states corridor, will likely be an issue that the county council will pick up soon. So I don't know that there's necessarily a that the commissioners have to make an opinion one way or the other, but if you want to give the county council your opinion on the continuation or withdrawal from the RDA, you could do that. At the previous county council meeting, Mr. Schrader I just wanted to clarify something. It felt as if he criticized the county commissioners and the county in general for, we weren't there, for not, what he said was not communicating with NDOT, and not regarding either the taking over of 231 or participating in the roadway studies and things that the cities of Huntingburg and Jasper did. And he said that he thought that was short-sighted and not in the best long-term interest of the citizens. So I took, I don't get offended really, but I guess you could say I took mild offense to that, because every time there's a meeting with NDOT, with the RDA, with anybody that wants to talk about, frankly, anything with the county, I do it, I take part in it. I've been to every meeting that they've ever had, and I've reached out to Kiana Wheeler, anybody from Lockmuller. I've been up to date with them 100% of the time. And it could, I guess the argument could be made they didn't like the actions that I've taken, but they did not like my position, but I don't think the argument can be made that I or the county, especially personnel from the highway department, as well as county council people, have not been fully invested and involved. This is a huge project for the community. There's a lot of feelings about it, some for it, many against it that we've seen in here over the last many meetings. So just for the public's understanding, we're fully invested in keeping an eye on this project and how it will impact county roads and county livelihoods and every aspect of that. So I just want to make that as a point. So I'll just leave that at that. Anybody else have any comments about the RDA or any of that stuff?
It's just that we're not taking it lightly.
No, I mean, I could say in hindsight, I kind of wish we'd have participated in the, with the two cities, studying the 231. I think the information would be valuable, and, again, it's hindsight. So, it's a little late now, but I think it's important for us to kind of know what we're getting into, and I think not doing that study, we kind of missed the boat a little bit. So
I would say that if that's your feeling on it, I bet Avenue, that they're a consulting firm, they're in business to do things and be paid for it. If you're interested in that, I think you could talk to them, and I'm not telling you what to do, I'm just saying that it's not a closed door. I would, if you're interested in that, or to Avenue directly, and they would fee for service agreement that's similar to what they have with the and City of Jasper. And I'd be, again, I sat through that was one of those right at the meeting when they gave the original proposal for their services to Jasper, and where you guys both were there, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And we listened to what they had to offer. I think at that time, my thought was condition and the things that they were offering wouldn't be as valuable now for a couple reasons. One, if the road doesn't come, then we spent money on something we didn't need to. And number two, we're not taking it over for 10 years. That information is, the condition of the road today is irrelevant to what it's going to be in 7 years or so. So that was my rationale.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying you're wrong. One of the good things about it is most of the information that Avenue will give us is available.
Right.
We just don't have a person to put it together and make it digestible, because NDOT has provided us with all kinds of paperwork. It's for me, layman, it's not very digestible, I guess is the way I look at it.
I think just the road's either gonna come or it's not. And our best bet is to prepare for it as if it's gonna come. And that way, when it's here, we are prepared and not playing catch up at that point. There's so much information, I understand, but the likelihood that we'll have to take over 231, I think we have to be prepared for that. I don't think we want to just take it. I also don't want to be in a situation where maybe we don't take it, but we end up in a worse situation because the state, I mean, they already don't do the greatest job of maintaining it. The last thing we want is this, main artery through our county to be a big mess. So I think when Kiana came in and talked to us, we talked about what equipment we might need, what kind of things we need to prepare for that. And I think we should be doing those things so that we are ready in the likelihood that we end up with 231, the old 231.
Make sure we are prepared.
Yeah, so we never have to take it,
I understand that.
but to your point, if this is the condition of them when it's on their radar, if they say they're going to do, take it even lower on the priority list, then we're in trouble probably with the condition. So, yeah, like I said, I'm not completely opposed to it, but what I've heard of it, I would still be opposed to taking the relinquishment or working with Avenue at this point. But if you want to look at it, I'm open ears. So I think you're right. I can make an argument that it's a good idea too. I think you're. Anything else on that?
No.
Okay. So at a previous meeting, I mentioned to the board that I reached out to the Indiana Office of Energy Development and the Indiana Department of Homeland Security, again relating to the installation or expansion of these battery systems and what's required of that and what isn't. So from that last meeting till now, I received one comment that said, "Hey, you've written to the right person," and that was about it. So basically, they said we received your email. Okay, great. And so I waited, 2 weeks, and then I wrote back to them again, and I said, haven't heard anything, just wanted to check in, make sure I wrote to the right people. And one of them responded that you did write to the right people, and our legal is looking into it so we can give you the right, correct response. And the other one came in, and I haven't even read it yet. That's how new it is. So just wanted you to know that I followed up with both of them because I thought it was one more avenue to become better educated with, who's in charge of which parts of this, right? And we have had many people say, you can regulate that. You can regulate these best things. And I think from our, what we've looked at, that hadn't necessarily been the case. So I'm going to keep doing research until we get as many final answers as we can so we know what we can do and what we can't do. You guys have any questions on that?
No.
Hopefully I'll give you some better feedback in a couple weeks, but that hasn't been looked at. I don't want to spend much time on this, but my final thing today is the last year, the county council approved funding for a county administrator, and then this board voted against that. And I will say since that time, I've just seen that the need for it just becomes more apparent to me all the time. And one of the issues was somebody brought in animal control issue. And that's just one of those things that it's important and one of us needs to do something about it. I just keep pushing it back on my list of things to do because there's just so much stuff that just keeps happening. And that's one of them that I haven't been able to get to. I'm still negotiating. I wanted to give you an update. I'm negotiating with Deaconess on the ambulance service because so not having somebody to give full time and attention to an issue like the Deaconess thing, for example, they started out saying it was going to be about a $900,000 assessment, whereas last year we had a $0 assessment. The year before that we had a $0 assessment. It's it's hard to keep up with all of that stuff without a full-time administrator there to go through those, to meet with the people. Ryan Young is doing a great job in that aspect, but I always feel like I'm chasing my tail trying to keep up and learn and know about those things. So just having somebody here, if they save us $200,000 off of that $900,000 bill, they've well paid for themselves. And then the final thing I'll say on that, just for the day-to-day oversight on some of our offices, like the highway department, I think they do a good job. I think the health department, veteran service, I think all of these departments do a good job, but they don't I don't know that they have oversight from me. I don't know if the two of you are around at these offices very often, but we're unable with the current setup to give oversight to these offices. And that came to light last week because had an employee issue with one of these offices. And I think if we had more, just drop in and see how people are doing, had an administrator that could oversee some of that, it may be less likely to occur. So I just wanted to bring that up again. I hope that the county will consider that again sometime this year. Anybody have any feedback on any of that? No. Mr. Stefani?
No, sir.
Okay.
Sorry.
Auditor?
I have a few things. I sent you all a quote from Matrix Integration to replace our Edge router. This will increase our internet speed to 1 gigabyte for our static IP addressing, the reliable integration with the phone system, the ability to scale higher speed internet services. So that is a cost of $5,778.35.
I read that. That's a pretty detailed agreement there. I think they did a good job putting that together. It made sense. Any way around it? Gotta have it.
Some of our equipment you gotta replace every so often, and
Does anybody want to review this any further?
No, I'm
No.
good. Thank you.
And we have funds to pay for this available? I would move that we give authorization to proceed with the professional services of Matrix for this issue.
Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
okay, I do have some surplus items. The circuit court had a monitor go bad, and Small Things has some file cabinets that they no longer need. Now, my office would like to take one of those, so we're gonna do that. The regional sewer district also would like to have one, but they need a place to put it. So that's my discussion item. I didn't know, I mean, if they could take one of them and locate it somewhere, they could have their documents
Is it
until,
lockable?
I don't know that answer.
I'd be okay with them storing it in the office directly below us. That office is underutilized and probably a standard, is it a 3 or 4?
Well, they're standard letter size.
I don't think it would get in the way.
Yeah, I spoke with, Dina was talking about a place to put stuff, and I said, well, they just happened to say they have some that they want to get rid of.
So first, I would say I would declare I'd make a motion to declare the monitor as surplus to be disposed of, so we'll start there.
Okay.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. And the file cabinets, I would move that we allow the auditor to take one of the 2 file cabinets and
I think we're
provide
gonna
the other
take a
one to the
bigger
regional
one.
sewer district.
Once we switch systems, we won't need one of our printers anymore, we're gonna put it in that spot. So, it was a win-win for us. You mean just put it in the conference room down there?
That would be my motion to allow the RSD to have one and we can store it downstairs.
And then if they have extras that they wanna get rid of,
Then
I
they
don't know how
then
many
they can
they
come
have.
back to us, I guess.
okay.
Yep.
Second. Thought I already did.
Oh, maybe you
Sorry.
did, I didn't hear it, if you did, I apologize. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Anything else?
Kate Schwank just emailed me and would like to have the bathrooms open on February 21st from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. for the Pamper My Princess.
We approved it last year. I think I'm satisfied to allow the Pamper My Princess on that date. Anyone, do they fill out a form?
I will have her fill one out.
Okay, so let's just wait till she fills it out and we'll approve it at the next meeting.
Bring it back.
Yep, just bring it back and we'll kind of do it again. That way we're ensure we get the document. Anything else from the auditor?
No.
Mr. Schneider?
The only thing is, looks like our supplement came in, the hard copy. So I haven't checked online, but usually that would mean that our online supplement's been taken care of for our county code.
Yes.
So we cut back to 5 of these. I know I'm taking one, Sandy wants just
I have one in
one.
my office that I pull out for people.
And I know there's a couple there that I can replenish, so.
And then give one to the sheriff's department, the last one, if there's one available.
Yeah.
I think that's what my note in my book says.
Okay. That works.
Anything else, Mr. Schneider?
No, sir, thank you.
Mr. Ledford, are you prepared? Okay.
For the Community Crossing 2026-01 project, we had the bid openings at 9 o'clock, took them under advisement. All bids were responsive and responsible, so I will recommend awarding it to the lowest bidder, which was CNR Construction in the amount of $1,128,020.75. That's 1128020.75.
And how did that come in versus estimate?
It came in below the engineer's estimates.
Okay, so we were prepared for it, and I would take the recommendation of the engineer, and I'll make that motion that we accept the bid from CNR.
I'll second.
Any other discussion?
No.
Anything else that you need to know?
That's all.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Hey, Chad,
Yes, sir.
could you give me the engineer's estimate?
Yes, I will be sending out bid tabs on the engineer's estimate to all bidders sometime yet today or tomorrow. I'll give you the engineer's estimate right now, actually. It is $1,391,665.11.
So just from a practical working purpose, is when you put together an estimate, do you estimate high so we're prepared, or do you try to get it as exact as you can?
Yeah, so I put a little bit of a contingency on my estimates. You don't want to put too much on there. You want to get it close, but you don't want to get funds approved and then not have enough funds approved. So trying to find where that's going to fall can be challenging. With that being said, I'm pretty happy with the prices on these bids that we got. They are lower than I expected. That is a good thing for the county. Stretches our dollar out further. I'm going to say part of this, a little bit of speculation, but community crossings, a lot less money that was awarded this year from NDOT. So just talking to the contractors and just common sense of how you expect it to play out is it's more competitive. There's going to be less paving, less asphalt being put down by not only DuBois County, but surrounding counties. So contractors need work. They're going to get competitive in their prices. Just a quick glance at some of the unit prices there on the asphalt. I'm not seeing any increase at all from last year prices. Very good prices that the county got. So yes, definitely below engineer's estimate. So that's good to see. It would be that way then higher.
Sure, absolutely.
So, all right.
I did see that the state is one of the bills that they have, and one of the many bills, and you can't take that for much while it's still January. But they're one of the bills for another $75 million for community crossing. That wouldn't help us at all because we were fully funded, but it could help other local communities that weren't.
My plan is to have a contract at the next commissioners meeting for approval for the with CNR. We have to have all documents to NDOT by very beginning of March, otherwise the funds get revoked from us. So that deadline, we're gonna make sure we meet that deadline.
Thank you, sir.
Absolutely.
Highway, do you have anything else for today?
No.
Okay. Department head meeting tomorrow?
Yes, I was just gonna say that. So,
Okay, did you guys say you had anything else?
no, just a department head at 8 o'clock downstairs in the annex.
Commissioner Hostetter?
Okay, so we met, the DuBois County Regional Sewer District met on January 9th, which was July, be nice and warm outside. We passed 3 resolutions. The first resolution was a resolution of the Board of Trustees of the DuBois County Regional Sewer District adopting bylaws, appointing officers, and providing for the general administration of the district. The officers that were elected are as Dina Lewis as president, Matt Krimp as vice president, myself as treasurer, and Tim Gudorf as secretary. Our second resolution was a resolution of the Board of Trustees, remote attendance policy, and the third was a resolution adopting a public comment policy. We, prior to the meeting, had a training with Craig DeVault that helped us kind of put everything together in a nice neat little package and get the ball rolling. So a lot of credit to Dina Lewis for that. So I just want to make sure that she gets some recognition.
Thank you. And an important component of that is how we're going to have the waste processed. And so we met with the city of Jasper last week. And they gave us some numbers. So to clarify, they're working with Baker Tilly. So they have their couple of people at Baker Tilly. We're working with Baker Tilly, and we've signed a conflict of interest form. So they're working independently. But now the city's side has put together some preliminary figures, and we're trying to share those with our side to see if they make sense, right? And we went through and just basically had a meeting with Jasper and said, here's what they think it's gonna be. In my opinion, the estimate currently is still more money than I think I'd be comfortable with asking the public to pay, but it's a starting point, and we're continuing to move the ball down the road to try to find a way to continue to lower those costs to the end user. But it's hard to lower the cost to the end user when you're gonna spend $18 million and you have 180 users. So that is if we're forward thinking, you spend the money now and you'll have thousands of people on it at some point. But right now, one of the reasons there's not more people gonna be on it is because it's expensive to buy a piece of land that's big enough for septic, and so one feeds the other. I mean, that's my opinion.
Yeah.
So did you guys talk about funding it all at the?
No, we really didn't.
More organizational?
Correct.
So we're still looking at it, and hopefully, still let it keep moving. Thank you for your work on that. Anything else?
I don't know. I believe that's all I've got.
Okay, we will open for public comment.
How's everybody doing? John Caldwell, Town of Holland. Sorry, I'm in this kind of stuff. I was actually watching it while I was at physical therapy being stretched for a back issue. And I would like to see if I can get maybe 4 minutes, because I've got quite a few things I need to touch, and I don't think I'm going to get it all.
Go for it.
Okay. First thing is the Recycle Center in Holland. We offered you a place. We'd like to know what kind of update you have on that.
Well, she had offered me the one behind the maintenance.
Yeah, in our lagoon area.
We said we did not want that.
Okay.
Safety wise, like 700 some feet back there. You have to go between the maintenance building and a pretty good sized ditch going down through there. We'll have to widen the road, and I'm just, safety wise, I really don't think that's a good spot.
Okay, any other proposed places around Holland?
As far as that going right in the gate, down that same, right in front of the lagoons, would there be a possibility we could do it there?
Okay.
I said something to Melanie, and she said it's always wet there.
Yeah.
But we could probably fill in, or,
Okay.
you know.
Oh, what about the property by the bank?
Now, that by the bank is, God, how many, we looked at it once, and that was a 1 acre spot, and it was like a 27 foot drop from the road down.
Yeah.
But if we could come up closer to like just a half acre, it would still be 10 to 12, was it? 10 to 12 foot.
Okay.
And like 250 some loads, tandem loads,
Tandem
dirt
loads,
that we would have to take in there.
Okay.
So that is just an enormous amount.
Well, is it offered for sale or for lease?
It is for sale, owned by Lang, I think it is. And then they also have land up against 161. It's the same area
Yeah,
there.
same area, about 10 acres up that area.
I believe the Holland Fire Department is gonna build a firehouse right there.
Yeah, yeah.
That, right beside the liquor.
That's what they tell the town board. I haven't seen anything about that.
Okay.
That's another issue.
And then they said possibly right on the other side of that, but the lady did not get back a hold of me yet.
Okay. Okay.
Whoever settled that, so.
Yeah.
And that might be in the same situation, because it does look like it drops.
Kind of drops a little bit there,
I don't know.
yeah. All right.
I did talk to many people. Blesh was one of them.
Mhm.
I was hoping maybe to get a little bit from them if they get that another piece of property bought. But that is just,
If there's something that I can help with negotiating or something like that, please reach out to me. I can go talk to them and see what we can do, because we find it important that we keep that recycle center in Holland.
I would be grateful if you would go talk to the owner that owns it now and talk to, see once if you could
Twist his arm or
have him sell it back to us.
it's in the past that twisting his arm doesn't work. I just want to let you know that.
That would be.
Is that why you're in
awesome.
physical therapy?
No, there's another reason. We'll get to that point here in a minute.
But that would be a great place for.
Yeah, I agree.
To keep.
That would be
I mean,
awesome.
And I talked to him last week. I said it's great for the town of Holland. It would be great for the teachers over at the elementary school, because there's 8-10 cars that park over there, teachers every day. And it would be great for the kids, because the kids take their recycling from the school over there on that day.
Yeah, they love doing that.
And it's great for the kids to learn and everything else.
You're responsible to the environment.
Yeah. So.
Got it. So, yeah, again, Donnie, please reach out to me. Just talk, if you, I can give you my cell phone, or you can call the town hall, and Katrina will give it to you. She's got an open invite to.
One other thing I did talk to, I talked to a landowner that is probably gonna be, I guess he already signed off for the AE, for the solar. But he said they are, actually, I was hoping maybe do it in front of their fence, because there's always a big section, but they said they're leased all the way out to the road.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, they took that, they took almost all that property back in that area. Yeah, I know the one you're talking about. Yep.
All right, there goes your 4 minutes.
Okay, just
Sorry. Thank you, Donnie, for dragging that out before he talks about
that was his moment. You should have paused me.
Okay.
The other thing I would like to talk to council about would be where we at on the comprehensive plan for zoning. Are we anywhere on that?
Yeah, we had a meeting, well, I mean, it's ongoing, so the whole of our comprehensive plan should probably be finished summer. And so what we're doing is, at our next, they had it lined out for like a year, right? So we started 6 months ago, we're probably midway, and land use is at our next meeting. So we do meet with them, is it every other Friday? And we do, every other Friday, for our core group, we have a meeting with our consultant of where are we at, what are we doing? So I think the way that the process would work is we would, as a comprehensive plan, we'll talk about land use, and there'll be public outreach, there'll be a bunch of things. And within that comprehensive plan, we will determine is moving forward with zoning for DuBois County, is it something that we want to pursue? So we will find, is it a yes or no there? And if it's a yes, then that's when we will bring, I would hope that we would have a community members, we'd have surveyor, we would have everybody.
That would be important to get some people other than
just us.
Yeah. No, I didn't mean it that way.
No, but that's
sort of, no, I
absolutely
didn't mean it that way. But, yeah, just kind of people that have different opinions, because, you can sit up there and talk to people, and they all kind of just go into this zone, yeah, we're gonna do this, but have that opinion of, well, maybe a farmer or a business owner or, just a
somebody who's retired and doesn't have anything else to do except, whatever on a Monday morning. But yeah, I think it'd be important to kind of mix that up to kind of get the opinion of the whole county.
So is that your take too, that our next meeting that we have as a group is going to be put maps down? We're gonna start initial conversations on land use.
But we don't make any final decisions.
Well, I understand that, yeah.
Guide.
Yeah, I
But no,
understand.
anytime that we're gonna either decide to go forward with it, or once we do go forward with it and we build a team, it's gonna be important that we get people from different portions of the community, both geographically and
Yeah.
from just their stance.
Yeah, just don't keep it in Jacksonville, open it up to the county, because it's a county issue, so.
Yeah, absolutely. Because what's important to a person in Cass Township is gonna be different than Bainbridge.
Oh, yeah, I mean, we've got a saying in Holland that says, it talks about pea patch. Nobody gets worried about anything until it affects their pea patch. And with all these solars going, there's a lot of pea patches being, their feathers are being ruffled, so, yeah. So, third thing is the meeting tonight with AES, their address is incorrect.
Is it tonight?
I thought it was tomorrow night.
Yeah, tomorrow night, sorry.
Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday. I don't
City
know.
County Council's meeting during the same time.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, you mean that they
They have the incorrect street address.
For the
It's actually
center?
14th Street, 110 14th Street in Hutton, yeah. So we put it on our Facebook page to kind of throw it out there. We also, I received an email from Nina from AES, make sure that I was gonna go to attend. And I just wrote back to her and said, hey, just to let you know. So just trying to get it as much as we can get out there. So yeah, the address is not correct. It's 14th Street, I believe.
I guess as I'm a local.
Yeah, we all know
Center,
what
we
those,
look at
yeah,
that, right?
exactly.
So, okay, and I'll change that on our Facebook page too.
Okay, and then this is the last thing, and I'll promise I'll walk away. As I was at physical therapy, listening to the VA guys, the VSOs, and then, was it Mind, Body and Soul?
Yes.
Yeah, that's near and dear to my heart. I'm a retired Army. I have gone through the VA system by myself, and it's not an easy avenue to approach this. So any support that you guys can give DuBois County VSOs, any organization that does vet, mental health, 100%. A quick story is that in the military, you're weak, you're very weak if you go to sick call. I'm dealing with a back issue that happened in 1986, and I just muddled through it because I didn't want to be called weak. And now, yeah, here I am, 64 years old, going, man, this is killing me. And the VA, an example of that was I put my paperwork in for my back, and since I don't have anything on my medical records, there's no proof. So now the burden is back on the vet to prove that carrying 8 section of M1A1 track, which is over 100 pounds, dragging that around didn't cause a problem with my back. So it's a burden that the vets have to go through, and the VSOs do a fantastic job to help us out to navigate those approaches and trying to figure out what paperwork we got to submit and things like that. So if you can, whatever you can do to support DuBois County VSOs, DuBois County vets, I appreciate it.
Thank you.
And I think that's all I have. So you guys have a good day.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Well, hang on. He took all my thunder, so.
Sorry, Dave.
Dave Duncan. Real quick, first of all, I want to thank Dr. Carline for that presentation today. I thought she made some really good points and accurate points. And secondly, I appreciate your work on trying to find more information, get educated on it, and your comprehensive plan and informing that committee. Eventually, that's a good way to approach it. I understand that you and some other folks went to BES at Petersburg a week or two ago, right? In terms of site. You saw BESS, right? A battery storage system up there. Yeah, and it was not in a solar field.
And it was not with the solar field? Yes, that's right.
Yeah, so I'm not confronting or anything. I'm just saying that proves my point. The battery they want to put here does not have to be here in a solar field. It can be.
So it's not there. It's not at Petersburg?
The solar, they don't have solar on site.
There's a solar field at Petersburg, but this battery that's shown was not in the solar field, which proves my point. You don't have to have the battery in the solar field. It can be charged from anywhere. And I just want to highlight that because that's
They
true.
do create energy on that footprint.
I'm sorry?
They create energy on that footprint, just not with solar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what they're gonna do out here. They're gonna charge the battery with the solar, if the solar panels are available, but if not, they're gonna charge from the power lines.
Yes.
Okay.
That's my understanding.
That's all I got. I appreciate it. And thank you for, working on it.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Just double checking, the two contracts were the same, they weren't separate?
They appear to be the same, but.
Okay. If not, then
It
it'll
says
be in the manual.
between DuBois County and DuBois Strong.
Okay.
Are they the same dollar figure? I looked at them this weekend, I thought they were
Okay.
duplicates.
Then it should, the second one should be in the mail, then I did.
I'll be honest, I didn't look at both because I thought they were duplicates.
We didn't.
I'm sure the dollar figure.
Anybody else? Not you again, John.
Yeah, Yeah, it's like somebody forgot to go to DuBois County.
Okay, highway, anything else? Anything else, attorney? We'll close the meeting. Thank you.
You guys get one of these.